why I couldn't use this one. Okay, that's fine.
Why?
Oh, it was just because it would make you mad because it doesn't have a USB, or not USB, a port for.
Oh my God! Tell me you're not on Wi-Fi.
I am on Wi-Fi. Sorry. It's either that or the other issue, so you get to choose which one you want.
Well, next week.
I don't know what to do with it.
Buy the mic that I sent you all three.
That won't make a difference if it's not.
That mic will solve a lot of these issues. That mic is it's a USB, but it's dynamic.
So is this.
As good as mine. No, it isn't.
This is a USB.
You're not in a dynamic mic. I'm telling you. Just right now, we'll get through this. But
right.
We'll make it.
And then how am I supposed to hear you?
You get headphones. There's a headphone jack in the bottom of that mic, and you plug them into the bottom of the mic.
All right.
You can use AirPod. You know,
that's what I'm doing. I don't do AirPods. I do the plug-in because it's easier, and then the AirPods aren't pulling from.
All right, I'll look into it. I got. Oh shit! Oot.
We're live. Thanks.
Hey, I finished it with oot.
Hello, Tanya, Bethany, Jennifer, Kelly, Margie, and Miranda. Getting ready to start. So, Ricky, I think we're at the same levels. We'll make the best we can with this.
Okay. All right.
All right, questions. We got a lot of them in the inbox. Let's get to those. Okay, here we go. If you have questions in the chat, you can drop them in. We'll get to those too. Here we go. 1913. Cell phone off. Welcome to episode 1913 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Boo to you. How about those Boo Bash tickets? You get them? That was yesterday. They're still on sale today for folks staying on site. If you got to go trick-or-treating and, seeing the character cavalcades with all these special Halloween folks down there, Mickey and then the villains and Maleficent and all that good stuff. But here's my deal. Let's don't wish away summer, right? I mean, that's a Halloween thing. That's a fall thing. It'll happen. You get your tickets, though, because if you don't get your tickets, it won't happen for you. But, hey, we got to talk about that. We're going to have a good time this summer, this fall, this winter, all the great times down at Walt Disney World. But first, we got to answer your listener questions here on a Wednesday to get you down the road and out the door. Joining me today from the mouseforless.com. It was close, but she made it. We have Ricky. What's up, Ricky?
I would like to stop having computer issues. That would be really nice, but
Hang on, you're really low again.
I didn't touch it.
I know. It's too low though, because Pam's going to be overdriving. Ugh, this is killing me.
I went all the way up to 100.
Okay. You go up to 11.
I'm control panel.
I wish you could see.
That's what makes me think it's got to be on your end because
it's not on my end. It isn't because I'm not getting the signal.
I mean, it didn't change until you started pressing record, neither.
On my end?
Well, yeah, you said my volume was fine before.
No, it just wasn't because we were just talking, so I didn't care. It sounded terrible the whole time. I just didn't care until we were going to record.
Okay, well,
we'll get it fixed.
Record. I mean, I'm up all the way. Well, I guess.
So do this. We'll do the question show real quick. You reboot the other computer, and we'll come back and do the fire.
Well, I have another microphone that I could use, but I don't know if
it's not the microphone, though. It's the computer, I think.
Well, this is a different computer.
I don't know. I don't know.
So I have another microphone. Just give me one sec. I don't know if it'll work with this one, though. Because I've never tried it with this computer. I've tried it with the other, and it doesn't work. So let me try that one. Hold on.
Sorry, buddy. We're going to get going here in just a second. Promise you. Bethany, we'll get to that's a good question. I have thoughts. I think it's because it's going to be too busy.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I agree.
It's too busy that last weekend of September and the first week of October. Yeah, she might sound good there, but she isn't getting into the feed right, so it won't sound good on the recording. That's the important thing. I'm picky on the audio. Sorry. Boo bash. Boo bash.
Nope. No idea. Hello?
Hello.
No. All right. I'll restart my computer. We'll try it all over again. I don't know because I'm on the computers.
Yeah, go back to your normal computer and restart it, and then we'll just try to do the Friday show.
All right.
It's because the camera looks weird too.
Well, I got that. It's not like the best. It's my backup. So
it's not a big deal. We'll be out in 30 minutes and we'll do that one.
All right.
All right. Good. Look at you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Hang on, let me leave.
All right. Now let me record. I gotta record this stupid intro again because I just introduced her. Okay. All right, here we go. Promise you, this is it. And yeah, I know it doesn't sound right on it's an audio podcast. The video is just bonus. So
the video is for all you diehards out there who want to watch us do this and see, are we really doing it without edits?
No. Well, this time hopefully we won't. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go. 1913. Okay. Welcome to episode 1913 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. We're getting you out the door and down the road. Not to school so much, unless you're one of those unfortunate souls that's on the East Coast or up in the northern states. I know you guys go to school till middle of July. Most folks are out now and focus has turned to the fall and boo bash. Did you get your tickets? They went on sale yesterday for on-site guests, and you can get those by calling Disney at this point. And then, of course, on June 15th, everybody can buy their tickets online. You get to see those villainous character cavalcades down at Walt Disney World this fall. Of course, Maleficent will be out there, the fire-breathing dragon from the Festival of Fantasy Parade. It's been so long, I can't remember what it's called. And all the candy and goodies and all the wonderful ways they can make the Magic Kingdom spooky this fall. But hey, don't wish away summer. Summer's here. It's awesome. We'll get to the fall when we get to the fall. So joining me today to answer your listener questions, your friend of mine. She's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, what's going on?
I'm actually really excited about the Boo Bash. I saw so many people just getting excited about this. And to me, I guess people were thinking it was like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, but it's not going to be. It's more of like an after hours event. Do you remember when they came out with those? It was actually sort of that summer and leading up into, 2019, right? When we went through that sort of at the end of 2019. Anyways, they had those after hours parties and they were so popular because not only did they have special events and things like that, but they also included certain snacks, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that was one of the selling parts too. And that's what the Boo Bash does as well. So anyways, I know the price point was a little alarming to people, but it actually was in line with those after hour events. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to kind of shift your mindset from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party to the after hours events, because this is it is what it is. I mean, Scott, we talked about this on a couple of the other shows, but Scott went to one. I remember it's not for me. I'm just cheap. I can buy a Mickey bar and and all that stuff. And the thing is, I love the atmosphere, and I do like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's a little bit cheaper, it's a little bit longer, but you don't get all the bonus goodies, which I'm fine with. And everybody's got that's why I like Disney. There's something for everybody, but it's not really me unless I'm by myself. I might go down solo and have to see what's going on. Because, the thing is, and I said this on Sunday night's live show, I think it's okay if you're like a solo traveler, maybe even a couple. But if you're a family of 4 or 5, I mean, it gets expensive super quick.
It does, but it's like the limited number of people that are going to be there during that time. And the bonus food stuff, I think you're going to get about as much done as you would get in a day full of touring. So look at it that way, Mr. Cheapo.
I know, I'm Mr. Cheap. Hey, and I mean, you don't have to get a theme park reservation. What's that worth?
Exactly. That in itself is worth a little something.
I'm saying it's, living in this world. We're in 2021. All right. Let's speak of Boo Bash. Bethany here in our live chat, which we record Mondays, usually around 5:45 Eastern. So drop in next Monday. We're waiting for you. Bethany says, any idea why they aren't doing Boo Bash the last week of September? I get it for that Friday because it's October 1st, but why not that Tuesday, September 28th? So Pam, what are your thoughts on why no Boo Bashes towards the end of September?
Well, there's a little something happening on October 1st. And I realize that, that Bethany, you mentioned that you understand why it's not happening on October 1st, but leading up to that date is going to be just as busy. People will be arriving for the big 50th celebration, which of course starts on October 1st. And I could not be more excited for that. Could not, really and truly. I'm just looking forward to everything that's going to happen there with that. And how about those creative pieces that Disney is doing with the castle and the navy blue and the the sparkling everything. It's really cool. So anyways, that's really why hotels, there's hardly a hotel room to be had leading up to the first. So
I waited till the last minute. I just got my Coronado room, so I'm happy because I kind of rolled the dice and I waited too long. I went against my own advice and I did Coronado, so I'm totally pumped up with that. I love that resort. And I arrive on the 28th. Like I think a lot of people, that's kind of the goal date, like the 28th, 29th, folks that are going down for that 50th anniversary. Probably, I mean, MCO is going to be happening with, uber Disney fans come like the 28th, 29th passing through there. It's going to be a lot of Mickey ears passing through.
For sure. It's going to be a busy time, but it's going to be a really fun time. And I think we all deserve a celebration as big as the 50th is going to be. So
and come see us because we're all going to be there. Pam, Ricky, Scott, we're going to be we'll do some kind of meet and greet that weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. So come see us. We'd love to see you and celebrate together. All right. We have a question. I got a lot of inbox questions this week. Again, Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com. Send those in. We'll get these on the show. This one comes from Christian. Actually says Chris and family. Hey, Mike, Ricky, and Pam, longtime listener and a fan of the podcast. I've learned so much from all of you. I'm writing to ask for some advice on a trip to Walt Disney World my family and I have planned for March of 2022. We live in Michigan, metropolitan Detroit. There are 5 in our family, my wife, myself, 2 daughters who are 12 and 13, and a son who's 10. As a family, we last visited Walt Disney World in 2018. We had such a great time, and we can't wait to go back. For that trip, we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside. We're planning another trip for last year, but those plans obviously changed. When I was a senior in high school, I also visited Walt Disney World in 87. My memories are scant, but I do recall the Captain EO experience. That is about it. And it really, was there anything more cool than Captain? We haven't talked about Captain EO in quite a while, but that was one of my, time capsule. I loved Captain EO. Anyway, for this trip, we arrived the evening of March 24th, and we're going to spend 2 days at Universal and then head to the world the morning of the 27th. We're staying at Caribbean Beach until April 2nd. We have 5 single-day park tickets for the week. My question is, what parks should we pick for which days? Our current plan is as follows: Monday, Animal Kingdom; Tuesday, Magic Kingdom; Wednesday, Hollywood Studios; Thursday, Epcot; Friday, Magic Kingdom. Thoughts on this plan? Any reason to pick one over the other on certain days? A little background on us. We're looking forward to visiting Galaxy's Edge, which was not open when we last visited. I rode my first roller coaster when we last visited, and my 2 oldest want me to ride all of them with them this visit. My wife and son typically sit those out. We also hope to get on some rides we missed last visit, like Flight of Passage, Test Track, 7 Dwarfs, Mine Train, Splash Mountain, Tower of Terror, Slinky Dog, Rock and Roller Coaster. Other than that, we're up for just about anything. We just love the entire experience and all the significant amount to detail that Disney takes. It really is a magical experience. Any tip or advice is greatly appreciated. On a slightly different note, any tips on getting more reasonable airfare? We've been checking, but the prices are outrageous. We do have some miles through Delta. Detroit's a hub, but can't believe the rates. Last time we bundled a car, and we're hoping to do that again. I know many say a car is not needed, but being from the Motor City, I like to be in control of where I go and when I go. Thanks, Chris and family. Okay, a lot there to digest, but I wanted to get Chris because he's super excited. and looking to really have a good time on this one. Okay. First of all, the hotel choice I think is smart. Riverside not available. Caribbean Beach is kind of your 5-person equivalent moderate resort option there. So you nailed that. Here's my thoughts on his theme park reservations. Right now, it doesn't matter what you pick because it's so far out. We don't have park hours. We don't have anything. So the only tweak I would have in this is that you only have Hollywood Studios in there one day. And you say you want to see Galaxy's Edge. It would make me more comfortable if you had Hollywood Studios twice. I know you got to sacrifice another park. I would buy a park hopper so that you could go to other parks after 2:00 if you want to experience something in the evening. But the reason I would put Hollywood Studios on there twice, obviously, if you don't get the boarding group the first time and you don't get to do Rise, it gives you that second chance in the morning because you can do it at 1:00 too. But that's the only thing I have there. So Pam, what's your thoughts on that kind of stuff?
I was really thinking about the park hopper too. And my reasoning behind this is that Epcot is staying open longer than many of the other parks. And we're really seeing that expanded hour for Epcot that's just not there for the other parks. And I think that it makes the park hopper worth it. I really do, because then after 2:00, you can always go to Epcot. And Epcot is the kind of park that literally, if you had a few days there, you could not make a park reservation for Epcot and just choose that to be the park that you're going to hop to every day after 2:00. And as long as you have a couple afternoons where you're going to do that, you will be fine. You will be able to see what you want to see in Epcot. And chances are you'll also be able to do all those food booths if you're going during one of the festivals and things like that. So consider that. I know it's an additional expense, but I feel like the flexibility it gives you and the longer time to stay in the parks are really worth it.
What about airfare? I mean, we're in this weird time. He's very lucky to be in Detroit, in a hub city. Say you're, in a Dallas for like American Airlines. We're kind of like a mini hub for Southwest. We're not the hub, but we have a ton of flights for Southwest, and we've just gained Spirit. We've just gained Frontier to Orlando, direct flights every day. And so that's good for us. And the thing is that I've noticed is I download their apps and I check all the time. But airfare right now, we're just in that weird time because I think they, mothballed some planes and they've laid off people. They're bringing people back. And I mean, just bam, it's like that hockey, that hockey stick curve. It was flat, right straight up. And I think, demand's outpacing supply at this point.
I totally agree. I think the demand for travel and airfare and rental cars is all so high. I mean, maybe you all have seen some of the news articles that have been out there, but there are times this summer where we cannot book a rental car for a guest, not with the packet in Hawaii, in particular in Hawaii, but there's other locations where rental cars are just not available. So that's going to be the challenge in there. You're going to want to watch for a while. The great news is if you're booking with something like Southwest, then you can book now, even if it's a price that's higher than you want to pay, and you can continue to watch that. Now, you won't get a refund, but you will get a credit that you can use toward another flight at some point. So that's something you may want to look at. I know that some other airlines do that as well, but it's going to be challenging because you don't want to wait too close to when you're traveling either, because I've seen airfare really increase for that. So try to get it to a price that you're kind of comfortable paying and then buy at that point.
Yeah, I think with them being next March, they can hold off a little bit and let summer ride. I mean, this is what I would do. I'd let summer kind of ride out, right? And see. Well, you can't book March anyway right now. I don't think so.
No.
I know you can't.
Not through most. No.
Maybe Delta. I've never flown Delta, but I would let. It's a surge right now. I think things will stabilize hopefully in 2022 where, it'll stay here, but it won't be. I think that, everybody will kind of catch up. They'll have enough people working. They'll have enough planes in the air back like we were. It's just right now we're in this funky area. So I give it a little time, but like Pam said, I mean, if you see something, grab it and go. And then, because what airline credit means. You're going back to Walt Disney World again. It's like, hey man, I got $52. Man. I got to go, like it's total empowerment. So done that many times. Missy's got a question. Hey, Mike, we're just 27 short days away from going home. And with all things Disney starting to ease towards the normal, the Johnsons have a dilemma on their hands. We have a Sanaa dinner reservation at 7:15 p.m. on our Animal Kingdom day. But when Tusker House opened reservations last week, I grabbed a breakfast reservation for the same day. I don't see the problem yet. We've previously eaten at both a couple of times and loved both. We, however, do not need to keep both reservations. Do we? Okay, we got an A or B. One, or A, keep Tusker House at 8:40 a.m., finish up the park early, and head back to swim that evening at the Polynesian. Or B, I don't know how you're going to beat that, but okay. B, keep Sanaa and end our day with a great meal and enjoying Animal Kingdom Lodge. Help us. What say the BOGP crew? Tusker House or Sanaa? Okay, Pam, I'll let you take that one first because I do like one over the other for me.
You know what? You're gonna be surprised by this one, I think. I'm gonna say go ahead and keep Tusker House.
That's what I was gonna say.
And okay, and do that. And then end the evening at the Polynesian. Here's why. Here's my reasoning. Are you ready? I don't know if this helps you or hurts you, but so from my perspective, first of all, it's going to be very easy to get to your Tusker House, right? Because you could jump on the bus to Animal Kingdom from the Polynesian where you're staying and go ahead and you're in the park, you're enjoying breakfast and you're off on your day, right? Like that. Then you're going to end your day by going to the Polynesian, where not only do you have that beautiful pool, well, two beautiful pools to swim in, but you also have a number of great restaurants that are available, both quick service and lounging, right in your monorail loop right there, right? You go to the Polynesian, and if you want to just do the lounge, you could eat at Tambu Lounge. You could get to go sometimes from Tambu Lounge for a quick meal. You could grab something at Kona. You could grab something at Captain Cook's. You could take the monorail over to the Grand Floridian and try out their counter service location. You could try Enchanted Rose, which is the lounge there. They also have appetizers and light things there to nosh on as well. You could take the monorail over to the Contemporary and go to the Contempo Cafe. Again, the lounge is there, or even try the Wave. And so lots of good food right there that's very easy for you to get to once you're at the Polynesian. Plus, then you get to enjoy the pool.
Well, plus, I mean, the thing is, and I'm with you, Tusker House for the breakfast. I mean, it's a great breakfast just in itself. I mean, Sanaa is a great restaurant, don't get me wrong, but Tusker House is an experience. Sanaa, not so much. We got the animals, and you get to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge and really explore, but you're at Kidani, you got to go down to Jumbo. I mean, the thing is, you're going to get a great meal, character meal, good food. You're at the Animal Kingdom. You're at your day already started. You're in your location. But I mean, night swimming at the Polynesian, looking at the castle. I mean, you're staying at the Polynesian, right? Take advantage. That's one of the best things ever you can do on property. Do it.
It is. That pool has the best view of the castle of any pool at Walt Disney World. You can be in the pool and see the castle. Doesn't get much better.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, dude. Everybody at Walt Disney World wants to be where you're going to be. So yes, take it.
Exactly.
Don't have regrets though. You just gotta. You got to jump in there. All right. We have a couple questions here. Rebecca Williams in our live chat. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Appreciate that. She says, hi from Knoxville, home of the Vols. I've been to Knoxville. Knoxville's a hilly city. We walked all over that city. Had Calhoun's on the river, went to the football game at Neyland. We beat the Vols. It was a great night. Anyway, thoughts on the afternoon tea. I got to say that one because it doesn't happen all the time. Thoughts on the afternoon tea at the Grand coming back by November. My sister-in-law and I are trying to plan a girls' day away from the rest of the family and thought it would be perfect. Let me give here's a Mike Rallman confession. I love the Grand Floridian tea. It was
right.
Awesome. You made me go because
I know, but do I ever steer you wrong? I'm going to tell you.
I know, it was awesome. No,
I know.
It would be because we're going down and we're playing golf. All the guys are playing golf. Scott and Phil and I and maybe Wade. We're going to play golf. And Pam was asking, "Hey man, make us a reservation for the Grand Floridian tea." I was like, "I would, but sorry."
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I mean, it's a pay experience. I mean, Disney's got to want to bring it back, I would think.
I think there's a lot of things that Disney wants to do right now, but them, like many other small businesses, big businesses, whatever, there are just in the workforce, there's a lack of folks there. We need more people who want these jobs. And I think that that's really a challenge for everyone. I'm not going to put any kind of spin on why it's happening or whatnot. I just think it is a fact right now is that there are lots of jobs out there and we just don't have enough folks to fill them. And I think that's absolutely going to, that's impacting the restaurant industry right now. It's impacting it here where I live. I'm sure it's impacting where you live. I mean, there are days I talk about this. Yeah. Starbucks and Chipotle in my suburban town of Pittsburgh cannot open some days.
I know.
They don't have enough people.
They have a little thing on my Jack in the Box speaker. It says closed. They don't have enough workers. Arby's closes at 7. 7, dude. That's when I'm getting out done. I want to get something to eat or whatever. I know it's a problem.
Yeah, I know. So it just is. And I think, so that is like compounding everything, right? The fact that, first of all, it was such a small little restaurant and really didn't have that many seats to begin with, I think it's a big thing to consider with that. Which restaurants do you get open first? And if I were Disney, I would be opening the restaurants where I moved a lot of people through those restaurants. The tea is really something that people linger over. It takes over an hour to complete. It may not be high on their priority because it's just not something that a lot of people had the chance to go to. So I don't want to give you, though, bad news on that. We only are looking into a crystal ball here that is not very accurate, right? And that is very cloudy most of the time. It's sort of like a magic 8-ball. If we shake it tomorrow, it may have completely different answers. But there's lots of other stuff you can do. Think about brunch. Think about, things like that. Lots of good stuff that you can do.
What about Sangria University over at Coronado? That'd be something fun.
Oh, yeah. I loved that. I really do. That was just such a really cool experience. And they do such a great job with it. Plus, you're in that beautiful area right there at the Coronado Springs at Three Bridges. So check that one out. That's a good one, Mike.
All right. Yeah, because I kind of want to do that next month, but we'll see. So, okay. Tim in the live chat here has a question. Do you know what time the online purchases for the Boo Bash tickets will start on June 15th? I don't even want to touch this one because the online system, it's supposed to roll over at the same time as the phones. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. And you know what? Because when the day Tusker House opened, for example, I'm telling everybody what Disney tells me. And then I get an email from a guest like, yeah, I got my Tusker House reservation at 3 a.m. Pacific, which I was doing the calculations. I was like, well, it's about an hour early. But with online systems, how, it's just somebody hitting a button and it's live. It's not like everybody open up the phone. So I would err on the side of early, check early. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't mind that morning and, go from there is what I would do. Yep,
for sure. And that's what I would say too. They are supposed to occur at the same time. That doesn't always happen though.
Here's a question. I have no idea what it means. So get ready. Anthony, he sends it in. If you had enough Pym particles for one round trip into the past and back, ask one of the ladies, Mike. It's a Marvel reference to the Ant-Man movies. Okay. So it's
yes.
Which of all the Disney parks in the world would you go back to visit on opening day? For me, it'd have to be the one that started it all, Disneyland in Anaheim on the Black Sunday of July 17th, 1955, specifically because that's the one place I'd have a chance to encounter Walt himself, as well as the 44-year-old actor who introduced him, Ronald Reagan. You know what? I'm going to take some Pym particles. I hope they're not happening.
You need to watch Ant-Man. It's really good.
Well, I did see, of course, been seeing all the, tell me that's not a real guy that goes shooting through the air to the what's it called? The Avengers campus. That thing is crazy. I'm like, Tinkerbell is an amateur nowadays compared to that thing. There's no rope.
Seriously,
I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I'd seen the stuff on Disney Plus before, but it just like when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, it's nuts. But I know no Avengers, never seen a Marvel movie or never read a comic book. I'm just not I'm not into superheroes. It's not my thing. I watch sports, but I would probably do the same for the same reasons, right? I mean,
yeah.
Ronald Reagan was my childhood, right? And so he was so charismatic, and it was just, I just remember him addressing the nation after Challenger, and he was like the president of my childhood. And you're right. I mean, to see Walt as happy as he is, that was his dream come true day. I mean, he had a lot of dreams, but that was his big one. You got to see him on stage. That'd have been pretty sweet.
For sure. That was the correct answer. I mean, I would absolutely do the same. I mean, Disneyland feels very, I always feel a sense of nostalgia when I'm there. I always remember that Walt walked those streets, as you will. just that whole thing, I really appreciate that about it. These are places that Walt walked in many cases, and I love that about Disneyland. And to have been able to be there and see it, that would be really cool. So.
All right, my good buddy Megan, one of our great guests over at the Magic for Less, has a question here in the live chat. She's tuned in on Facebook. I have a lounge question for Pam. You've come to the right place. Can you get food at Topolino's Lounge? Also, is Narcoossee's bar area currently open? I don't know about either.
So the lounges look a little different right now, I will say. It's really even took me a bit to navigate this. But here's some things I'm going to give you tips on. First of all, the Topolino's and the Narcoossee's bar area is not really open for people to go to the bar. They were seating people there for dining the last time we were there. The one thing you can do, though, is in the app, it is actually really accurate in terms of the lounges and their menus. They will say if there's food. They will say if there's not. There's also this really cool bar area there by Topolino's. But again, that's not open at this point yet. The poor thing never really got to get open, right, and established. It's a really cool place that it is, because the view from there could not be better. Just really, you're looking over at Caribbean Beach and the Skyliner, and it just has such wonderful views. That resort was only open for a short time, and that part of it didn't really get going. And it looks like it has great seating too, like lots of great, patio style seating. So anyways, that's not available with food yet. And so there are lots of other ones that are, but just those two that you mentioned are not. But keep checking the app because it may open soon.
We're getting there. We got to.
We are.
So we're going to get there. No. Here's another question from Jennifer in the live chat. She's tuned in on Facebook. Another lounge question. Are children welcome in lounges? I want to go to Three Bridges, Nomad Lounge, etc., but I'll have my 16-year-old and my 8-year-old daughters with me. Okay, Pam, I got to ask you a question. Because
Yes.
I saw a rumor. Is it true that Hannah kind of grew up in the lounges of Walt Disney?
She did. Not just there. Whenever she would go, whenever her grandparents, my parents, would babysit her, my parents go out to eat all the time at these there's a couple of restaurants that are right near their home, and my parents always sit at the bar. And Hannah would go in and get her little thing of chocolate milk, because the waiters and waitresses would know her, and she would be at the bar with her chocolate milk, and they would be eating there. So anyways, yes. And in Pennsylvania, that's not a big deal. Like, we do that all the time. California,
you can't do that here. Like, Bible
really?
Belt, no kids can be at the bar. It's against the law. I don't know if it's against the law. It's against the rules for sure. I mean, no, you can't sit at the bar, but you can be in the bar. Some bars.
Interesting.
Yeah, you could sit at like a high top.
Yeah.
So say you go to Applebee's and you sit in the bar side of the restaurant in Missouri. Like, you can sit in the high top in the bar area where they're playing, jackpot bingo or trivia or something. You just can't be at the bar, like where the bartender is. Now, if Walt Disney, and when I go to Walt Disney World, I mean, Mallory and Paige have eaten in the lounges. I mean, all of our kids have, but we usually don't sit at the bar with them. We usually sit in the lounge area, like at tables.
True. And in California, I believe that they're more strict about it too, about sitting at the bar. Like, we got scolded about that. And then I felt like defensive about it. And I said, and I want to have a conversation with the server about it. I'm like, legit, where we are, this is not a concern. Really and truly, it is not. So anyways, we're not bad parents. We're not lushes either. We're just, we're not good at planning ahead. Anyways, so yes. So kids are welcome in the lounges. They can sit at the tables. So many of them have, especially Three Bridges. It's really like a restaurant at this point, not so much a lounge. Because of just they need the restaurant space for sure. It always had a good extensive menu for that location, but yeah, you can take your kids into the lounge.
All right, let's get a question from the inbox from Brad, another one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less. Hey, Mike, Ricky, and Pam, going to Disney World in 36 days. Actually, it was yesterday, so you got 35 days. You're almost there. My wife and 2 kids will be joined by my mother for 7 days. My mom has recently had some health issues, and I'm going to suggest she utilize a scooter for the trip. She doesn't necessarily need it around the resort or if we go out to dinner, but she'll definitely need it for the parks. Would you recommend renting one from an outside vendor to have for the entire trip, or just rent one from Disney each day we're in the parks. I know they're first come, first served in the parks, so I'm leaning towards the first option to be safe. What are your thoughts? Thanks for all you do, Brad. Brad, thank you. I have thoughts, but Pam, you get this question a lot with the agency. So what best advice, best practices for this situation?
So it's really challenging because I understand what you're thinking of, and I'll give you sort of lay out some pros and cons for you. First of all, the con of having the scooter the whole time will be transportation, right? If you are going to the parks and you're going to take bus transportation, then you'll have to wait for one of the buses that can accommodate the scooter. And many can at this point. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. There also could be a wait just based on the number of scooters that are in front of you. The pros, though, I think far outweigh the cons, and they are that you have it for the whole time. And it's really hard, I think, to gauge whether you're going to need the scooter at places other than the park when you're doing the amount of walking and all of that you do throughout the day. It can be, if you're not used to that kind of thing, it can be exhausting, tiring. It can probably cause sore spots and spots you aren't used to being sore. So all those things to consider. The other thing to consider too is price. If you're renting from one of the offsite vendors, it is absolutely going to be less expensive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you're looking at a place that's not less expensive, then you're not looking in the right location, because the scooters and the ECVs at the parks are more expensive than these offsite vendors.
And I will say, I'm definitely, Tim, is saying in the live chat, he has some experience, a whole trip. And that my dad always said, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, kind of thing. Yes. And I think that is very true in this case, because, when you think of a hotel, when you're at home, if I think of the Drury Inn, which is kind of a nice hotel in St. Charles where I live, it's just a hotel, but Coronado Springs is huge, or Caribbean Beach, gigantic. I mean, you got distances, and the thing is, you might not think, oh, well, my room's not that far from the food court, but over a week, I mean, you might end up walking 2 miles in a week because you go back and forth 12 times, and it's not that far, but it adds up. So you have it. And I will say too, I mean, I'll just put a plug out there for Walker Mobility. They're really good folks. They're family owned, good rates. And the thing is, if you call them and just talk to them and tell them the exact what you said in the email, what they'll do is they'll get you in the right kind of scooter too. Disney is kind of one size fits all. They might offer you a sunshade, or they might offer you some kind of, a skinnier one that's easier, it's easier to maneuver, or something that's a little bit more robust, or, they're going to get you in the right, that's what they do full time. Disney has scooters, but Walker Mobility, that's their business. So they've always done well by my guests. Always, ask and always hear good things.
We've used them for forever at our agency. They've been around for forever. We've used them for forever. And we always recommend them because they offer our guests the kind of experience that we expect, and the kind of experience that our guests expect. So
they care. I mean, you can tell because they just want you to have a good experience. I mean, that's what every business owner wants, like you to have a positive experience, but they understand that a scooter can be like a make or break deal for a trip, right? I mean, if
100%.
I mean, think about it. I mean, this is what kind of, kills me about it. I fortunately so far, and I know like I break a leg at some point or something, I'll be in a scooter, and like most people I would guess that use some kind of an ECV down at Walt Disney World, it's probably their first time using one. And they're like, it'd be like learning how to drive a car, like in, Manhattan or something. I mean, can you imagine? Like, I mean, people get mad, like somebody gets bumped into, or, your toe gets rolled up. Like, I know you get fired up, right? You don't want your toes run over. You don't get hit in your, Achilles tendon or something. But the thing is, I mean, be patient, man. That's what I keep trying to tell myself. Like, it'd be like learning how to drive when you're 16 in Manhattan, or like in the Indy 500. Are you kidding me?
It's trial by fire for sure, right?
It's nuts. Anyway. Okay, I got to get this email in here because it's just a feedback, but we did that show a couple of weeks ago about some of the craziest things we did at Walt Disney World. Not crazy in a bad sense, but things like, we swam with sharks back in the day. We had all these cool experiences. You had the racetrack out in the parking lot of the Magic.
Oh, yeah. The Richard Petty Raceway.
Yeah. The marathon. So Priscilla sent me some beautiful pictures of her family, her kids doing some things. Her daughter is no longer with her, but she sent me these pictures. She's passed on, but their family pictures. She was very kind to send these to me, the story of how these pictures are so special to her. And I wanted to thank Priscilla for trusting me with that and sharing the stories. And I said I would, share some of these on the show. And, her kids got to do here. And I totally forgot about some of these. They're great pictures. Remember when you could surf at Typhoon Lagoon before the park opened?
Oh yeah, there were surf lessons. True surf lessons. Yeah.
This picture of her daughter, like she is standing on the surfboard. There's a curl wave coming over her head. I mean, it looks like she could be in the promo for Hawaii 5-0. Now, if I'd have done those lessons, all you would have seen was like my sunglasses, like here. You might have saw an ankle sticking up over the water, the surfboard gonking me in the head. Because I just don't think many people probably surf that well, but it's a great picture. She also scuba dived in Epcot down into the tank, and those kind of things,
like Uncle Jesse.
Right. I don't think she proposed. I'm not sure. But and she also got, and her son, and she said, got to spend a day with the animators. Remember when you got to do that kind of shadow and
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, I mean, great pictures. And I just love our podcast family that somebody could reach out. She said it brought back good memories, and the pictures were wonderful. And it just just shows what memories we can make, going to these places. It's pretty sweet.
And how valuable they are. Thank you so much for trusting us and the rest of the listeners with those kind of things. I think when I think about travel, those are the things that matter so much to me. Like those are the kind of things, the memories that you get through travel. And it's just a really special thing.
All right. Last question of the day from my friend Tanya down in Nashville, Tennessee. Julio Jones will be playing some football this year. We recently received our Magic Bands for the anniversary weekend. I think she's talking about Walt Disney World, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but I know she's going then. Could be her wedding anniversary. Have they stopped the miniature golf, luggage tags, and other extras? I thought those activities were available again. Am I wrong? Okay, first of all, you got to have a package to get those.
A package,
yes. Confirmation number. If you got 8, that's great. If you have 12, I don't have a rhyme for that, but don't get that.
That's a room only, and it doesn't rhyme.
It's a room only. Yeah, sorry about that though. What's going on there?
So they have not stopped them, and actually, if you do have a package, they will give those to you there at the resort. Stop by when you check in, ask for them, and they should have those available. The luggage tags, though, should have come in with the Magic Band. But the thing that makes the things with the Magic Bands all kinds of screwy at this point is that because they are required to ship them out when you pay for them, you're getting them way early in most cases, right? Depending on when you order them. So that could impact that as well.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, because I mean, like this trip's in October, so they've gone out soon. You're right. Because of course, now they're not complimentary anymore. You got to buy. So it's a purchase. They have to send them out they don't just hold them back.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think if you ask at the check-in desk, they'll give you them if you really want.
They usually have some sitting there, some luggage.
Actually, sometimes when I go on a package, because I'm not always on a package, but sometimes I am, they'll say, Mr. Rahman, we have an envelope for you. And like, they'll say, they don't even say an envelope. They're like, oh, Mr. Rahman, we have something for you. Then the cast member walks back and I'm always like, yes, I'm getting surprises. And they give you that envelope. It's my putt-putt.
Yes, it's your putt-putt tickets.
Yeah, it's putt-putt tickets, but it's, it's what it is. It's fine. I mean, Walt Disney.
It's not like the envelope. It's just an envelope.
Yeah, an envelope. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, is that $1,000 gift card? No, you just go play putt-putt. But it's fine. It's good. All right. Thank you so much for the questions. We sure appreciate those. We hope we shared some memories, some laughs, and some tips today. Don't forget, today's show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out. Lots going on. The Disney Cruise Line ships, man, they are. If it was a Run Disney race for Disney Cruise Line, the ships are like walking to the corrals right now. Like they've already gone by the porta potties. They're walking out to the corrals. We're getting ready to sing the national anthem and just get going. I just feel it. Like I feel it. Those ships are gonna be sailing soon. Nothing official, but hang tight. We can get you on a ship for fall, winter 2021, of course 2022, all the way through September. We got I don't know if you heard about a ship called the Wish. We can book that too for next summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I think for
the dates that are still available.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'll hopefully find you something.
Yes.
Also, Disneyland. Hey, I think what's today, the 7th and 9th. So next week, if you're not from California, guess what? You can still go to Disneyland again. So we can take care of you there. Walt Disney World, of course. I'm telling you, if you want to go to Walt Disney World in 2021 at any point at this time, you got to get on it. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to pressure you, but I mean, rooms are scarce. Hopefully they'll be opening more hotels soon. But
Yes.
rooms are scarce to get on that $200 deposit. You're set, fully refundable till your final payment date. So check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. While you're there, fill out the quote form. We'll take great care of it. We promise. Over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. I know Prime Day is coming up here soon. When you Prime, use our link too. It works both ways. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And finally, thank you to our patrons. Hope you're enjoying Mike in the Midwest every Thursday. This should be a fun show tomorrow because it is my 15th wedding anniversary. So we'll talk about that a little bit on the show and just have some fun with that. So thank you to all our patrons for supporting everything we do. If you'd like more information on that, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike and at beourguestpod. Of course, Facebook and YouTube. You can subscribe to the show and you'll find out every time we go live. Also, nope, I'm not going to say that, because somebody may be listening. So watch the social media for an announcement about Sunday night, and we'll go from there. There's no live show Sunday night. Special surprise for somebody. Remember, I just said 15th wedding anniversary. Okay. So yes, no live show this weekend. Okay. So we are going to get out of here. Now we're all in, but nobody blow the surprise. If I'll find you. We're all sworn to secrecy. Shh. No one knows yet. Telling her tomorrow on our anniversary. All right. So you guys stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on Friday. From all of us, we'll see you real soon. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let me save that. Get Ricky in here. 1913. This one. Oh my gosh, I'm hot now. Freezing earlier. Now I'm hot. This is such an old shirt. But it's comfy.
I want to mention just those new ABDs on Wednesday.
You'll come back with Boston accent, though.
Yeah, I know, right? From Boston.
Those commercials are awesome.
I love those commercials. They're my favorite commercials.
Those commercials are hilarious. I mean, I've never been to New England. Those things are so funny.
When he got the COVID shot, that was my favorite. Did you see that one?
I don't think so. Hang on.
He pulled down his pants. And they're like, sir, you don't need to pull down
it's Samuel Adams.
Yes.
Sam Adams.
From Boston.
COVID shot.
Yep.
Hang on.
So good.
Person from Boston gets vaccinated. Is that it? Okay, here we go.
Yes.
You hear it? Hang on.
Oh, it's an I'm one? Your cousin. From Boston. Hey, we're back, baby. Sam's on me. Indoor beers. Indoor beers. Did I get the shot?
No. You saw the needle and passed out cold. Here you go. Need to wear a mask.
Huh. Next. Good luck, guys. Great.
That commercial, that is the best commercial.
Isn't it so funny?
Did I
Yeah.
get the shot? No, you passed out as soon as you saw the needle.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Is Ricky? Ricky.
I like that he's already pulling down his pants when he gets.
Oh, it's an horrible.
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
crap. That is hilarious. I showed it to him. Oh, it's an arm one. Oh, that's so funny.
Your cousin from Boston.
Boston.
Oh my.
Oh, I'm getting a headache. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna run and get I'm gonna take all my headache pills real quick. It'll take me.
Okay, go.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Y'all get to see what happens when I'm here by myself. And then what happens in between shows where we talk about dumb stuff like Sam Adams commercials. I was actually just going to answer Becca's question about what time Boo Bash tickets go on sale, because they're supposed to go on sale at the same time that the phones open, which is at 8. So we shall see. I don't know if I think Ratatouille will be virtual queue or not. And the completion date on my new home is supposed to be at the end of November. I know. Thank you for those who have been following along on our adventure. You saw my hole get walls last week.
You need to work on your landscaping though. It's just too. It's like
right.
a little
Okay.
plain right now. Okay,
Tanya, it is 7. Did I say 8? I'm sorry. It is 7. It's 7 Eastern.
Starting rumors. Where's Ricky? In the center. The center of the link again. Just.
For the Boo Bash tickets, when they are open to the general public, you'll be able to buy them online. But if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, they go on sale on the 8th, which is tomorrow, for those folks who have a confirmed Walt Disney World reservation. This week in my house, they are doing the basement plumbing. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, yeah.
We get a little update each week from the builder. So, yes.
I know when your next trip is.
When is my next trip? July. I have a trip in July.
Next month.
I do, yes. I do. Is
Is
it better to go to the Boo Bash on Halloween? Or will it be the same as the other nights? I think it will be the same most other nights.
I think it's just like the hardcore Halloween fans will be there.
Yes,
I think it'll be more.
I agree.
I think all the offerings will be exactly the same.
Yeah. Adam, I think that they will do a Boo Bash and more, I hope. I hope we continue to see events be added back.
Wade. Nebraska, Arkansas. You know what? Those are two teams that I really kind of hate.
Wow.
Well, because when we were in the Big 12, we hated Nebraska because they always beat us. And they stole a game from us with this. It was called the Kick Six. Like this guy hit off his foot. We finally had beaten him and we lost to him. And then Arkansas is our new fake rival in the SEC. So no, I'll hope Nebraska. Well, I don't know. I'll have to watch. It's good baseball. But Arkansas is a good team. So Nebraska must be really good.
Yeah, I'm feeling like how is July next month too. Really and truly I am. Aren't you? I feel like the last few months have gone by so quickly. It might have to do with the fact that we sold our house and bought another house and moved into temp housing for a while. Maybe that's
We've had a lot going on.
Yeah, I have had a lot going on. I'm feeling it a little bit too. Like I don't typically, but I am right now.
Where is Ricky? I'm getting in trouble for playing this. Let's see.
Are you gonna play the same commercial?
Wait, why is it? Oh.
The ads.
That's not it. No. Here it is.
I hope this doesn't take too long. I'm double parked. Oh, it's an on one? Your cousin from Boston. Hey, we're back, baby. Sam's on me. Indoor beers! Indoor beers! Did I get the shot?
Nope. You saw the needle and passed out cold. Here you go. Continue to wear a mask.
Good luck, guys. Breeze.
Good luck, guys. It's a breeze. Oh, that's too funny. Your cousin from Boston. Okay. Oh my God, that is. How did I not see that one? That's too funny.
I don't know. You know what's funny is we had other friends who were telling us that they do not all talk like that in New England. No, we know. Just the Boston ones.
Yes, this is true. Just the Boston.
Oh, it sounds so good.
It does sound better.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I do is restart the stupid computer.
Right, we'll do it.
Good.
Sunday night.
Something doing it.
Damn, now the dog's barking. Are you kidding me?
She's fine. You're fine. It's fine.
No, it's not fine. Don't kill that dog.
She's not barking anymore.
She's like, take me to the orthodontist.
No. Anyway.
From Boston. Yeah, because I watch the Boston, like, Sox are on actually behind me on MLB Network, and there's this one announcer, man. He is so Boston. He's just, yeah, the Sox. We're on N-E-E, and we're on Nesson. It's so funny because, like, he barely speaks English. I mean, to me, I don't know. It's so yeah, come down to the yard.
Well, maybe he feels that way about your like Irish accent and stuff like that when you do like an Irish accent.
Where I live, nobody has accents. Now in the
True.
South, people have accents, which Southern accents are cool. I mean, all accents are really cool in a way, but like that, I don't know if I could deal with that New York or like New England accent like 24/7. Like, it's fun in small doses when I watch the Sox, but I don't know. Got to park your car, take it over the Green Monster. That was a long one. It went out of the yard.
This is not going well.
Oh my.
Okay, so restaurants that have a twist. It's like when like the ladies go out and do the painting with the twist, right? I guess guys can do it too. I've only known
That's drinking.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not drinking.
Okay.
Nesson.
Right.
Okay, here we go. From Boston. Okay, I gotta get that in here.
Stop.
It's so funny. I can't stop. The commercial's hilarious. Did I get the shot? No, you just on the needle. Continue to wear a mask. Okay, I gotta get serious. Okay. From Boston.
Oh gosh. Here we go. It's off the rails, folks.
We've lost Mike. It's
I
done.
can't-
Okay,
Mike
and
can't stop
I need
himself
this
now.
headache pill, so we're all good. I
Oh
got
no.
I got my migraine. No, it doesn't do anything. It just makes it so I can't walk. It like locks up all my joints.
Oh my goodness.
Brutal. Yeah, it's brutal.
That's awful.
But it gets rid of your headache.
There you go. I mean,
You can't move, but you don't have a headache. All right. You walk like you're the Tin Man. Seriously,
Okay.
because it locks you up. I cannot take it before I run within 12 hours.
oh my god.
It's rough. Is Rhonda Lee from Boston? No, she's from Nova Scotia, but she's close, I guess. I'll park your car in Harvard Yard. You'll get towed.
My gosh.
I should be from New England.
Here we go.
Okay.
That one was the
Why is you
best.
bringing up
though.
the ABD though? It's because of that. I like the one reason
know.
the reception because I was a wedding reception DJ. Okay, I've said okay enough. Here we go.
I know.
What are you doing? Yeah, I'm fine. I was laughing. There was a
Just making
commercial.
sure he's okay.
I'll show you the commercial later on YouTube. I was yelling because it was a funny commercial.
Just making sure you're okay.
I'm fine. Go eat your chips.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, do you want to watch? I mean, you $5 a ticket if you want to watch live in the studio. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get the $5 later. Here we go.
Good. I don't have to pay $5. We're good.
Yeah, no, because you're remote. It's free remote.
It's free. Okay, good.
Welcome to episode 1915 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from Boston. No, actually from the Be Our Guest Podcast.com. And of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. We're ready for a great weekend. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to have some fun. We between shows, Ricky's computer, as happens every other week, was having issues, so we had downtime, and Pam showed me a commercial, one of those from Boston cousin commercial. Sam Adams, and yeah, I cannot. So if I lose it at any point over the next 40 minutes, it's because that commercial is flashing back into my mind. Not that cousin getting his COVID shot. So yes, great commercial. I had never seen it, and it is the most funny thing I think I've seen in my life at this point. So anyway, nothing to do with Disney, but we are talking Disney right now. We're going to talk dining with a twist. We have Ricky. Ricky is from the mouseforless.com. Happy Friday, Ricky. What's up?
Happy Friday. I would like to throw my computer across the room, but I don't think that's probably the best option at the current moment. Maybe after I'm done recording, I can throw it across the room. But right now, it's okay. we're doing it. So that's all that matters.
We're going to make it happen. We're going to all be here. We're going to have a fun Friday show. We're going to make the audio sound good. We're going to give some quality advice on places to dine with a little bit of extra little oomph to that.
We are. And, I just want to share a story about dining and Miss Daisy because, this weekend she dined real well.
Wait, did you say dining with Miss Daisy or driving with Miss Daisy?
Dining with Miss Daisy.
That was the sequel, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it was after driving. That's where they were driving to.
Yes, they were.
To Denny's. Yes, go ahead.
So Miss Daisy decided that she was going to dine real good this weekend, and she ate an entire slider. When it was up for grabs, she was like, this is mine now, and she ran off with it. So I'm just saying, somebody's eating good today. It's not me. It's the dog.
Tell me it was a White Castle. Or at
it
least
was not. It was homemade. I made these sliders too. That was the bummer part. Yeah.
Well, you need the dog that size with a full slider, man. You'd be chasing the dog around for a week. You'd just be ugly.
I would, yeah. So I'm really glad it wasn't a White Castle slider or crystal slider, and I'm really happy it was at least my own slider. So I'm just saying, so this one eats good, and we're going to talk about good eats at Walt Disney World too. So bam, there's my tie-in.
That's it. Yes, you're a professional.
I am.
You got it down. All right, also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. She's not from Boston. We none of us have accents. We just hang out here and just, talk Disney. So we have Pam Forrester. Pam, what's up?
Happy Friday. I am excited. And I meant to mention this the other day, but since we're talking about Boston, did you know that Adventures by Disney has come out with a brand new itinerary for the 2022 season? And it is an Adventures by Disney to New England.
Ooh,
I know, right? I think it's going to be a really, really fun trip. It goes to a lot of really interesting places. But the thing that stood out to me was that you get to stay at the historical Trapp Family Lodge. Yes, folks, the Von Trapp Family Lodge that you get to stay at during that. There's lots of other things you get to do there too, but during the Adventures by Disney, we've talked about them here on the show a few times. They do a trip like no one else can do a trip. You get to go to Acadia National Park. You get to go to all kinds of New England restaurants and locations and things like that. So anyways, it just sounds like a trip that's just so fitting with Adventures by Disney. It's going to be a really cool trip. I'm so glad that Adventures by Disney is still coming out with new trips to do. So love that.
I think it's smart too for this time period we're in, because I think domestic travel is going to thrive over the next 12 to 18 months. And I heard there's stuff in New England, like there's a little history,
Just a bit. I know. And so when the adventures guides and the private guides that they have during the Adventures by Disney trips really will give you a brand new perspective on all of those things. I mean, we've all done, my family growing up, we would drive to Gettysburg, right? And we did this a few times during my childhood. Drive to Gettysburg and go through it. There was like a little tape you could stick in the car. Yes. I was old enough that we had tapes at that point, and we would put the cassette, not 8-track. I will say I'm not quite that old, but they were cassette tapes, and you would put them in, and you took this on this driving loop through Gettysburg, right, where it sort of told the stories and helped, that can't come to life. Well, that was interesting for like the first 25 minutes, and then my sister and I were punching each other in the back of the car. It didn't really turn out well. But I will say the Adventures by Disney trips are really different because they take you to these historical places and really help bring the story to life in a way that you're not able to do on your own. So
can you punch your sister on Adventures by Disney trip?
Yeah, I'm sure that happens too, but maybe not to the extent that it did to us in the back, because we had been 25 minutes into this really boring tape about Gettysburg, not really making the connection there. I don't think the story did not come to life for us, as I will say, on the tape. So,
that's too funny.
The map room though that you would do before the driving tour, that was magic. So if you've ever been to Gettysburg, you know.
The only thing better though about that Adventures by Disney is like the night of the first meal, like we're all sitting down, getting ready to get, go for the weekend, and your cousin from Boston comes in with his good buddy Sam. Bam, puts it down on the table. You're like, yes, this is the best. This could be a great weekend.
I'm gonna reach out to the ABD people and see if they want to if they can get that guy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's viral marketing if I ever heard it. Like, it would be just crazy. Okay, anyway, today we're talking Disney dining. Now, let me tell you, just kind of an overall thoughts on dining, because I'm going down next month, beginning of July. And I think a lot of folks who are going in 2021, of course, right now you can only book 60 days out. So it's a lot different than it was, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. You could book 6 months in advance, 180 days. Right now it's 60 days, 2 months. And the thing is, if you don't book immediately or pretty quickly thereafter at the 60-day mark for your on-site stay, what you're going to find is that a lot of these restaurants that are experiential book up solid immediately. And I'm talking things inside of theme parks first. And so today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about restaurants that are more than just the food. Now, of course, we have a lot of restaurants we talk about. Pam always talks about California Grill. It's got a great view, but people go there for the food. The food is the feature, right? People go there because it's an elegant place to eat. It's a beautiful place to eat. It's fancy, as I say. There's a lot of restaurants. Le Cellier, you go there for the food. You go to these restaurants and they're there for the food. But I want to give you, options today that we can all three talk about here. Options where the food isn't really the feature. It's more of the twist. It gives you something, little hook that makes you want to go there more than just the food. And we're not just talking character dining, because of course, again, it's 2021. Character dining is kind of character flyby dining at this point. You still get your pictures, but you don't get the hugs, and nobody's spoon feeding you food or anything like that. So we're in weird times. So we're going to talk about restaurants where you can go and have a decent meal, good meal, but there's something else. And the reason I thought about this, I have one restaurant I've been trying to get for next month, and I cannot get it. And I'm looking for Sci-Fi Dine-In, because I have not been there in ages. We always go to 50s. Sci-Fi Dine-In, the food is okay. It's hamburgers, chili, it's good food, the chicken sandwiches, fries, stuff like that. But the twist on that one, of course, is the drive-in experience. And I think that is a cool hook, because I'll tell you, I've never been to a drive-in in my life, and I'm 47. We just don't have a lot of them here in the Midwest, or in St. Louis at least. And we had them when I was a kid. We just never went to the movies. So I've never been there. So when I go to Sci-Fi, and it's probably been 5 years, I just love watching the trailers. I love how dark it is. It's kind of weird because there's a lot of people in there, but it's like super quiet. All you hear is like, forks and spoons and everything hitting china. It's kind of eerie in there, but I just, especially on a hot summer day, say it's like, you're going for a 5 o'clock dinner. It's July. It's 100 degrees outside. You walk in there. It's dark. It's cool. It's quiet. And you're eating. It's perfect. And you're eating in a car. So that's going to be my first restaurant I'm going to throw in for dining with a twist. Sci-Fi Dine-In. Ricky, what do you have?
So I haven't, again, another restaurant, we're talking about restaurants that we haven't been to in a while, that's kind of like back on our radar. And I think that this one is back on my radar because I'm literally walking past it all the time now, when before I never walked past it. And that's because they have reconfigured Epcot right now so that you were actually walking past Coral Reef. Now, I haven't been here literally in years. The last time I was here was when I was on free dining, when it was like the really good version of free dining, where you got like the appetizer, the entree, the dessert, and like I think they paid for your tip. So it was like really.
Can you imagine that your tip was included?
Yes. So
and everybody got an appetizer. It wasn't like a table appetizer. Like, what, sir? What would you like for your appetizer? Well, Pam, what are you getting for your appetizer? Hey,
and then you like swap and make sure you weren't getting the same appetizer because you wanted to try everybody's. Yeah. So the Coral Reef is certainly a place that I think is not on a lot of people's radar, or at least it wasn't before, because like I said, it wasn't a place that you walked by all the time. But since they've redone Epcot, I mean, everybody basically, if you're going on that side of the park, you're walking right past it now, which is great for them. I'm sure that their people who have come to dine there have gone up greatly. But the hook for this place, get it, hook, Maybe that's
Ah,
wrong.
I
That's
see
a
what
wrong
you
joke.
did. Your sea biscuit in there. Yes.
That's the bad joke. But it's the fact that you get to dine with the fishes.
It's better than swimming with the fishes from Boston.
Sure.
Boston Harbor.
Exactly. So you get to see, they have the giant aquariums from the Living Seas, or I guess I should say the Seas with Nemo and Friends now. And they have those, and you get to sit there and watch the fish swim by as you are dining. Of course, they have, great seafood options for dinner or lunch, but again, a lot of people are not going there for actually the food necessarily. They are 100% going there for the view. And for those of us who grew up with TGIF, Friday night TV, of course we remember like all the time, all those great shows, they all took place. There was something that happened in the coral reef, whether it's a proposal or whatever. So you definitely, like, those of us that grew up in that time period, we 100% know coral reef for that purpose. So I'm going with coral reef for my first one.
Couple things about coral reef. One, they have a decent steak too. If you're not a seafood person, because I know that because my family doesn't eat seafood other than me, so I rarely eat seafood because I'm nice. And I thought you were going to. Here's the twist: the coral reef. The fish tank's pretty cool, right? It's a whole wall. It's pretty big. Wall carpet. I'm just saying.
Valid.
Wall carpet. I mean, who doesn't want to go to a place with wall carpet?
Valid.
I know.
You're not wrong.
It takes you to dining establishments from years gone past, I will say.
But you're right. Every person walks past it now. And like, I mean, if you would have asked somebody, 5 years ago, where's coral reef? I think it's in the Living Seas somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where the door is though. I don't know how you get in. Yeah.
No, it was really hard to find the door. I mean, it was hidden, tucked away. And now it's like right there in the middle of the open. So
yeah, totally. All right, good call. Yeah, it is. I mean, especially little kids, man, they're just mesmerized. And again, it's a calm place because it's like those blues. It's dark. It's quiet. It's like sci-fi. I mean, it is not 5 o'clock on a day at Epcot. You go in there, you're just like, whoo, thank you. All right, Pam, what else you got?
So I'm going to take you to Disney Springs.
Ooh.
And one of my favorite locations to go is the Top Lounge at Paddlefish. And the reason why you want to visit here is because you are not going to get a better view of Disney Springs than the top deck here at Paddlefish. You can see the aqua cars going in, the balloon if it's up. It just is really a fantastic view. I love it. It's so nice, first of all, to be dining outside. And secondly, just to have those expansive views from up there. So it's worth checking out.
Yeah, especially if you can get like a later dinner, where sunset is over water. Oh man, people don't give Disney Springs enough credit for how beautiful it is, especially at sunset. It is because you're looking over at Saratoga Springs, or if you're at Saratoga Springs looking over, it's really beautiful. If you walk over to Saratoga, look across the water to Disney Springs.
It is.
The Imagineers did a great job of just making it look, because it's not really calm, but it's a weird beautiful. It's like an industrial type beautiful. It's neat.
It is. When they redid it, I know that there were so many feelings about how that was going to change. And it did change. It truly did change. But it's so nice to see life there again. Right before they sort of started closing things down to make this new reimagined Disney Springs, it was just kind of sad to be over there like on a Friday night. And there was nothing going on. There really wasn't. And now, even now, there's musicians there. There's people interacting with each other. It really is such a lively spot. And there's really such an energy there that wasn't there before.
Oh, man. I will say, I like going to Disney Springs now. And that says something because, it used to be like I would tolerate it because, my wife liked to shop and all that. So, she went with me for a week to Walt Disney World. I can do, a half a day at Disney Springs. Now we'll afford it. We go 2 or 3 times a trip.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It just has totally changed the way that we vacation at Disney World because it's part of our plans now, where before it typically was not. So,
all right. So my next one, kind of just for a restaurant with a twist, is Garden Grill.
Literally.
You get it with a twist?
Yeah.
Yep.
A little spin, the restaurant, a little spin to it. Good churn. So, of course it is a character meal, but this is a restaurant where it's 2-tiered. And I do have a place in my heart for restaurants that just feel old, like they feel retro. And Garden Grill feels like you've stepped back in time. It's like living with the land. And living with the land, we all know, is the best attraction of Walt Disney World. So you get to, not only is it a slowly rotating restaurant, and just a little tip, yesterday was my 15th wedding anniversary, right? Okay. Yes. 15. On our first date, and if you listen to Mike in the Midwest, I will tell the story for our patrons. But on our first date, Pam and I went to a restaurant in St. Louis that rotated.
Nice.
Oh my.
Yes, dude, that restaurant was so expensive.
Yes.
You know what, man? It paid off, right? I won. So I got her. Anyway, so I just say a little inside baseball. But I like it because it rotates slowly and you get to see inside of an attraction. Now, the thing is, you got to be paying attention to see inside Living with the Land. You could easily miss this, right? If you're not paying attention, you don't really know that you're going by the farm scene or the hooved buffalo that form the American prairie. You don't really know that.
Right.
But I mean, it's kind of cool that, you know, like you look up and, hey, I'm not, you know, I'm in a different place, but you're not spinning like Tom's Twister. You're going super slow. It's not gonna make you sick or anything.
Very
But
slow.
it's a way to sell a restaurant to a kid. All these things, they're fun for the adults. But I mean, if you really want to make a kid happy, like there's always going to be something you could say, we're going to the restaurant that spins. We're going to the restaurant with the movies. We're going to the restaurant where we can sit on the roof, or we're going to the restaurant with the fish, you know, so far. So I think it really helps kind of the kids hang in there for, you know, maybe an hour-long meal. You know, could be 90 minutes. Probably not. Disney's pretty good about getting in and out with kids. All right, Ricky, give us another one that has a twist, a restaurant.
Well, speaking of great restaurants to go with kids, this is a combination. I'm going to totally cheat here. So, because all these restaurants are owned by the same entity.
You took the one
I totally am stealing it. You're welcome. So I am going to go with the Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex. So the Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex both can be found at Disney Springs, as well as there's a Rainforest Cafe at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, many people know Rainforest Cafe, T-Rex, their food, look, among the Disney community, it's not the best of the best. You know, it's not something that people talk about all the time of, oh my gosh, did you try Rainforest Cafe today? No, they're definitely not saying that. The food is pretty basic, which is probably great for those with little ones because, a lot I know Mike's, kids have always like dined just on chicken fingers all the time and French fries.
And as long as they don't have to be good chicken nuggets, they just have to be nuggets that are chicken.
Exactly. So, there's always something there for the little ones. And they both have such unique atmospheres. So with Rainforest Cafe, of course, you've got the jungle theme and, all the animals that are there. And then at T-Rex, the place that terrifies me that I haven't gone to for that reason, is there's lots of, dinosaur things and stuff like that. Now, I will mention that some people do find these restaurants quite loud. So just a heads up, this is not going to be where you go for a romantic meal, nor is this going to be where you go if you're looking to have a lot of sparkling conversation. But if you're looking to have fun, a good time, have the kids be entertained, you definitely might want to consider these 3 restaurants because, they're a lot of fun. So yeah, it's been a while. I've done Rainforest Cafe at Animal Kingdom, actually. I don't think I've done the one at Disney Springs, but I've never done T-Rex, and obviously there are reasons for that.
So I'll say something about these restaurants. So I've never eaten at either one of them in my life. But one, I remember Pam telling me the first time she took Paige, when Paige was like 4 or 5, they did eat at Rainforest Cafe at downtown Disney back in the day. And she said like it was just so loud, like it was just overwhelming to Paige at that age, because it was just like they were by a volcano or something that just like, making noise, and it's freaked her out. So just know that. But I will say, I did tour T-Rex when they redid Disney Springs about 5 years ago. And from what I saw online, I thought it was like kind of semi-themed. Dude, these restaurants are crazy over the top, like themed. I know T-Rex had like an ice cave section to the restaurant. Yeah. It was awesome looking. I mean, it's way more detailed than I was expecting, and it holds a lot of people. And one other thing, both of them have kind of little cool stores as you go in. Like just go in. I mean, it reminds me of like a Ron John's kind of setup, or like a Cocoa Beach Surf Company. All the junk you don't need, but when you're in there, like, oh my god, I need these rocks. I need a bag of rocks. Kind of stuff like that.
I must take the rocks home with me. Yeah.
Well, these are gems, or whatever. These are quartz. No, they're not. They're just a bunch of rocks. But they got the little, ankle bracelets and stuff like that, wrist bracelet, all that junk. But it's kind of fun to kill some time. So yeah, good call, because it is more than a restaurant. You're actually not there for the food. You're there for the for the dinos.
You are 100% there, not there for the food. You are definitely there for the atmosphere.
They do have huge menus, though, right? I mean, I've
They
heard
have
They do. It's
very
humongous.
extensive menus. Yeah.
so you're like, if you can't find something on that menu, go get poutine at the counter out there. We'll see you after
That's
dinner.
right.
I don't know, whatever. But what else we got?
So I'm going to take us to a quick service location. So this will not need reservations. And it's located in Animal Kingdom, and that is Flame Tree. And the reason why I'm saying you want to go here is because if you take your food way back to the back of the seating area, which is right there by the water, you are going to get the most spectacular view of Everest. It just is perfect for taking pictures. You're going to be able to get Everest reflecting in that water there, and it's really, really cool. But you can like look around too, and you'll see, you know, the little water cavalcades. You'll hear them. You'll be able to do that. So it's such a great location. There is just an extensive seating area. So again, if you can't find a seat here, then you're in trouble. And that sometimes is a challenge right now with, you know, the physical distancing and whatnot. It really sort of eliminates some of the seating, but there's tons of seating available here. So it's worth checking out.
Going along with last week's Friday show about the guidebooks and the insider tips, how about a pro tip for the Be Our Guest podcast? We recorded our first live show.
We did.
At Flame Tree Barbecue in 2008. We had about 15, 20 listeners there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty
a lot of them are still with us. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Yes, for
crazy, like,
sure.
for all that time, and a lot of it, you know, I'd say at least half of those folks we're still friends with, and yeah, it's amazing because there's so much seating. We just had to remember we're chasing those big birds back there.
Oh yeah.
They were chasing us. There were vicious ducks there. So.
They're crazy. I remember that. We got some good pictures. I'll have to dig those up and post those this week.
I
Yeah,
know I've
right.
shared them before too. Yeah, we'll have to dig them up. Yeah.
They're great pictures. Oh my gosh, we had that little I had that little stick that we recorded on, like a
Yes.
memory card. Oh,
Yep.
it's somewhere. I'll have to find that audio too somewhere. All right. So my next one, and I had one. Oh, here it is. Because I don't write anything down. And the reason I'm going with this one is because you probably can get a semi-late ADR for this one. And it's Beer Garden in Epcot. Beer Garden is normally a nice buffet. And the thing is, I want to throw this in there. On the buffet, the desserts there are killer. They have great desserts, at least to me. They have like little cheesecakes, German chocolate cakes, all kinds of great desserts there. But when you go to Beer Garden, now it's family style, so those bring it to your table, load you up, so you're good. Of course, you're going to get like your sausages, your brats, different kinds of potatoes, casseroles, all that good stuff. I mean, dude, I'm starving right now. That's my jam because I am partially German. But I mean, you also get a show, and it's almost kind of like sci-fi in that the environment, you walk in and you're literally on this tiered kind of, dining room. So you're in different tiers. You get the 3 or 4 piece German band. They're playing bells, handbells, or, that big horn, like from the Ricola commercial. There's a drummer. But I mean, just looking around this place, you're inside some kind of a German village. Like you're in a little, town square or whatever. I guess that's Italian. You're in a square, but, it's just, it's all encompassing. You're inside a simulated village. You got music, and I don't know if they're doing the communal seating right now, but when they go back to that, or if they have, I like the communal seating because the thing is, everybody's on vacation. Everybody's typically having a good time, and it's a great opportunity just to talk to people at your table. And, you're not going to be with them. Like I always say to, when we can't decide where we're going to go to eat on a Friday night or whatever, you're not marrying the restaurant. You're just going to have dinner and move on. Like, I mean, the people at your table, you might not like them like as best friends, but you can make conversation and get to talk to each other, and, it's a good time. So Beer Garden, and there are ADRs available. Now, not a lot of great times, but that is one of the places you can find it. And it's not super expensive compared to other World Showcase restaurants. So I like Beer Garden. All right, Pam, what else do we have? Or was it Ricky?
Let's go ahead, Pam, to go.
Okay, with Pam.
So I'm going back to Disney Springs with this one. And this is dining with sort of a twist because I think Splitsville is a good place to go for folks who are looking for a little something more with their dinner, right? If you don't know, Splitsville is located in Disney Springs, and it actually has bowling available. So you can go ahead and schedule your time to dine. And then you can actually bowl and dine at the same time. They will bring your food to that location. So that's one of the things I really like about Splitsville is it's sort of dinner and something to do. So if your kids are really, like it's hard to get them to sit through the whole dinner, this might be the perfect answer to that, right? Because you can say, go ahead and bowl while we eat. So anyways, but I like Splitsville. They have some really interesting food choices. They have sushi, they have burgers and salads and, everything else. And everything we've had there has been good. So check that one out.
Just make sure you wipe your hands before you grab it.
Right.
We don't want grease inside the finger holes because that could lead to a backswing disaster to the
Very
folks.
bad things, yes.
For sure.
And here's the ultimate question. It's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it, did it really fall? Whatever. Is Splitsville a restaurant with a bowling alley in it, or is it a bowling alley with a restaurant in it?
I have a thought. I have a definitive.
That was really rhetorical, but go ahead.
I mean, for me,
what comes out of your mouth? Go ahead.
For me, it's a bowling alley with food. I mean, that's kind of how I see Splitsville. But they do have that really nice. They just added a really nice outdoor bar area, I think. So
it's really nice. Yeah, and they even have TVs out there. They had live music in May when I was down there for cheer. They
Yeah.
It was awesome because they're watching the basketball playoffs and the guys playing live music and they're outside and it was a beautiful night. I'm like, why am I not sitting there?
Right. So yeah, for me, it's a bowling alley with food. But I mean, I'm curious what
it's actually a restaurant company.
It's true. You're right.
Really? It is a restaurant company? Like that's
it's part of one of the groups. So,
yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
So it's a restaurant. You see, it's not Crest Bowl, Ricky.
No, I get that.
Like you get pretty sweet pizza there. I'm just saying, this is like old hometown like bowling place. Dollar games on no tap. And all that stuff.
Games.
It always had the beach schnapps like sign over the lanes, like for 19 years. They never changed the sign.
I'm feeling ill.
That was the drink special from like 1982 to like 19. They never took the sign down. I bowled leagues there. It was so
I did too, actually. Yeah.
Colored.
That's bringing back some bad memories for me.
I'm just saying. I was there when Ozzie Smith hit his home run to beat the Dodgers. Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! I was bowling in a league for my
That's too funny. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Megan threw in here about this. Just when we planned for a recent trip, I asked our 5-year-old daughter where she wanted to eat. The one restaurant she remembered and wanted was, quote, when we ate by the water and saw the Skyliner, Primo Piatto.
Ah, there we go.
That's a good one.
There we go.
And you can play bocce ball there too, which
for sure
to play. So I got how to play. All right, so Ricky, give us another. What do we got?
Okay, so for me, another one, and a lot of people really do like the food here. The menu has changed over the short time that it has been open to become a more signature meal, at least for dinner, and that is Be Our Guest. So, of course, the huge draw here is and of course, it's not our audio animatronics because sadly enough, they never ended up putting those in.
Mine's actually in the men's restroom. We just haven't seen it yet. So.
Yeah, okay, that explains why that has happened.
It's weird. There's a lawsuit and all kinds of.
I get that. Definitely weird. But the whole draw, of course, is getting to dine in Beast Castle. Of course, you get to. Everybody really, I think most people really want to dine in the main ballroom, but of course, then you have those who really want to dine in the West Wing. I don't think anybody really wants to dine in the other area. It's just sort of the overflow of, okay, I'll eat there. But I think most people really want to be in those other two areas.
It's all the people that complain at the hostess stand. You're the host or hostess stand. They're like, we'll get you.
Yeah, exactly. Haha.
I don't remember the cafeteria from the movie. Too bad. It was the director's cut.
Exactly. But it's, very, very themed, of course, as far as it really does feel like, you are in the movie. And I think that that's kind of the big draw for dining there. Of course, they got very famous for offering the gray stuff, which I don't know if they do that for like birthdays anymore, but they do have the cupcake, which they offer, which is pretty fantastic. And like I said, the meal has changed over to a signature meal. I haven't dined there since they changed that over. And I know they have offered, breakfast, as well as, lunch counter service. Is it still counter service?
I don't think
For
so.
lunch,
Oh.
it's sit down. Yeah,
They changed to sit down. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, did that happen with COVID or did that happen before COVID? I can't remember now.
Did
I
anything
know,
happen
my
before
brain-
COVID?
I can't. I
I can't remember the world before 2020.
I know, right? I honestly don't remember if that changed before because I remember it happened not too long before COVID. So I don't remember if the change happened if they took away the lunch counter service before that or if they just did it because of COVID. So anyway, it's still a great restaurant to dine in, but it's super hard to get a reservation obviously right now because everything is very hard to do. So that's definitely one that you want to get that 60-day mark. It was hard to get before that, but it's even more difficult right now. So yeah.
Simple one. I'm throwing in just one, my favorite restaurant at Walt Disney World, Olivia's, because you can eat on the outdoor patio. Now, Olivia's is awesome inside. Don't get me wrong. It's very homey. It's almost like eating in a fancy Cracker Barrel. It's got all the stuff. I mean, it really kind of is decorated with all that, the stuff like Cracker Barrel has on the walls. It's got like knickknacks and stuff. It's pretty in there, but I think you got to ask for that, especially when the weather's great. Maybe when the weather's, but the thing is, even when it's hot, they have a covered patio that has ceiling fans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not kidding. This is a draw for me because the food's great. Like I love the buttermilk chicken. I love the burgers and stuff, but just sitting outside because you get to see the inlet there for the boats that normally under normal circumstances take you to Disney Springs. You see the lighthouse there by the pool. You got all the nautical flags. And what I really enjoy, and this is kind of fun, when you're sitting on the patio, you get to see people coming and going from the parks because that bus stop's right there. People are walking by. And also, you also see the perpendicular path of people like riding bikes and people going and back, back and forth from the pool or from the community room. There's like action. And the thing is, you're sitting outside and I'm not, this is going to sound weird. I'm not really eavesdropping, but it's kind of fun to hear like, little kids telling their parents, something fun that happened or grandma talking to the grandkids or whatever. It's just, it's almost like you're watching little snippets of a Disney commercial when you're eating there. And it's a very pleasant place to eat. It's a nice patio. So, not nothing really special, but it's great food, very relaxed, comfortable, and just exciting place to eat. So I like the patio at Olivia's. All right, Pam, close us out. What do we got?
So I'm taking us back again to Disney Springs, which is weird because a lot of these places that I talked about were in Disney Springs, but this is CityWorks, which is one of the newer restaurants in Disney Springs. But I think one of the big draws here is, first of all, sort of what you were talking about, Mike, is that a lot of those, locations sort of face the outside there. People are walking past, going to Disney Springs. But for me, the reason why we go there so often is that they have a ton of beers on tap. And so this isn't about the food for us. It's really about the drinks, that they just have such a large array of choices and you can get a sampler. So that's great. You get like 4 or 5 beers that you can try a little bit of each one. You can order that. And then, of course, if you have one you like, then you can order more of that one, or you can order another sampler, whatever you want to do. But I think it's just something different for Disney. It's, for a long time, they really didn't bring in a lot of different beers at Disney. Now, that has definitely changed over the last 10 years or so, but it was like just devoid of it. And now they've really made an effort, and CityWorks is just a great example of that. So stop by that if you want to try it.
So you would say the multitude of beers is a draw for
definitely a draw. Yes.
Isn't that what it's called when you tap?
I get it.
Trying to
yes, very good. Yes, that was a joke. In a good lead in, lead out.
Yeah, not a funny joke, but it was an attempt.
It was a dad joke.
It was a dad joke. Yeah.
I'm dad. That's just how it works. Father's Day. It's a good time to be a dad. Father's Day is coming up. That's good stuff.
Truth. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to get out of here, and we hope we've given you some ideas of places that are not just food, but also places you can people watch, places you can fish watch, places you can spin, places you can complain about you're not in the ballroom. No, just kidding. Whatever. No, just places that have a little bit more than the food, because Disney is an opportunity to, you're not going to have that good of food at your bowling alley in your town. Probably, you could go there and probably get a greasy thing of onion rings, maybe some jalapeno poppers and bowl, but you're probably not getting sushi down at Dick Weber Lanes in Florida, we used to have. You're just not getting it. So just thoughts to make your trip better, because dining doesn't mean the fun has to stop. Dining means just more fun at Walt Disney World. So hope you enjoyed that, and jump on the social media. Let us know some other ones that we left out at Be Our Guest Pod, at Be Our Guest Mike, Twitter and Instagram. I'd love to hear from you there. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you with your next Disney trip, whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or even Adventures by Disney. We're standing by to help you plan a great Disney adventure. So check out all the great offerings over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, especially with Prime Day coming up. You can do both. You can support the show and get the great deals on Prime Day. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Thank you to our patrons. You allow all this stuff to happen. I know, right? You're encouraging all these terrible jokes. It's your fault, patrons. And everybody else. We love you guys. And hope you always enjoy Mike in the Midwest every Thursday. That's our special mini podcast for our patrons. But truly, thank you for allowing us to do all we do here on the show. If you'd like more information on Patreon, just visit patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Follow Pam on Twitter at TMFLT Pam. Follow Ricky on Instagram and Twitter at Ricky Nibs.
That'd be correct.
Right. Follow the Magic for Less on Instagram. Lots of good stuff there all the time. Check it out. Is it the Magic for Less Travel? That's right?
I think so. Yes.
I say it all the time, but it is. It's the Magic for Less. No, it's just the Magic for Less. I'm trying to picture it in my mind.
And I'll look it up.
Right, because
it is.
Yeah, because you can't have too many.
Yeah, because it'd be too many characters otherwise. It's at the Magic.
Got it.
Yeah, so check that out, because
it's the Magic for Less Travel.
I was going to say
Magic for Less Travel. Oh my gosh, it's so
it's
confusing.
at the Mouse for Less, though.
Oh my gosh, all the follows.
Yes.
All the follows. So we'll figure it out. Good information on all these fun stuff. Just to, you got to seed your social media, and there it is.
That's right.
It's like planting your little garden for magic every hour of every day.
All
All right, so we are going to get out of here, but we'll be back again on Monday with another great trip report. But guys, we love that you take the time to laugh with us, spend some time with us, share some tips with us, interact on the social media. We have a good time doing these shows. I know, terrible jokes, but we honestly have a great time, and it's all because of you. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. For Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, and we'll see you real soon. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. From Boston.
Stop.
We need to do like a parody from St. Louis. What would that be?
Oh my god.
I don't know. What would the accent be like?
Nothing.
It's just no accent.
Yes, no accent. Yeah.
No accent for you, but to other people, I bet there are.
Really? You think?
Yeah, probably. There's
Like
Pittsburgh.
Matt Parrish. When I hear Matt Parrish, he doesn't have an accent.
Right.
Yeah, because you're from the same place.
I'm going because that Taco Bell line is going to be killer tonight because of all this.
All right.
Because of all of what?
Go.
How long it took to get going?
Oh, you're fine.
No, I'm not. The line's going to be killer. There's nobody working at the Taco Bell hardly.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if it's still open.
Oh, don't even play.
Go eat.
All right. I got to